You know how Steppin with Marcus J. Thank y'all. Thank
You not gonna turn on my mic, man? That's how it get down.
I'm getting to it. Calm your damn nerves, man.
And quit
How dare you punish our listeners by playing that garbage?
Huh?
Shaq Fu.
Man, I don't care if it's Shaq Boo Boo.
What's that?
What is right with that song is horrible.
That's a Hall of Fame basketball player
and
right there.
Biggie. We not talking
And
about
Biggie.
Biggie. Poor Biggie. Biggie had a.
Did you hear him when he said 7-0 Taro in Inferno? That's like one of the greatest lines in the history of hip hop.
And then he woke up and realized
It was
that he was in a
great.
different
And
world.
this is how you act?
That song is horrible.
Okay.
That might, if it weren't for Biggie, that song is not even listenable.
Now, when you start producing the show, you
Man,
can
I
start
don't
playing
care,
whatever
man.
you
should
want. You want to come over here?
You could not. You should
come
not
over
be
here?
subjecting the people who take their time to listen to our show to that garbage.
You just subjected them to the sound of your voice?
We're
Well,
subjecting them to liking the Redskins.
Hey, but they want to listen to that.
No.
Yeah,
No.
they don't want. They damn sure don't want to listen to Biggie and
Ruben, I
and
tried.
Shaq Fu.
I
He
work
was
hard.
a foosh snicking,
You know what I
man.
mean?
Man, I don't care if
hold
he's
on,
a
wait a
foosh
minute.
voodoo.
I try
I don't
hard.
care. He's terrible.
I work hard for our listeners, man.
That
do
ain't
what
working
I got
hard.
to
That's
do.
punishment.
You know what I mean? I try to expose people to things that they may not be exposed to because nobody's buying the Shaq record but me.
I mean,
so I figured I would expose them.
The Army uses this to get critical information. Because anybody who listens to that garbage will spill everything in their life.
You know what else they use? They use the tape for your smashes, man.
Good.
Damn it.
Then they learn something. But they don't learn crap off that
See
garbage.
how he doing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
You
terrible.
see how he's doing?
I know.
I mean,
All
we
right,
gonna play
listen,
that.
we got business to get to, and so I don't want to talk to Ruben no more. We're gonna get to our business.
no,
I know
what I
for
want.
the longest time, for the last week or so, we in social media on pretty much all of our outlets, from Enliven Radio to the Green Room version 2.0 to All Throttle Radio, the conversations from your sisters with SY and Lissa P, all our talk shows, we've been teasing how we've got a huge announcement. And now it's time for us to get to it. Debuting here on the airwaves of Legacy Internet Radio on Friday, December 5th at 8 p.m. will be the brand spanking new exclusive show joining the lineup of Legacy Internet Radio. We got the pregame. And we got the crew of the pregame in the studio with us right now. We are breaking news right now on Legacy Internet Radio. So without further ado, I want to introduce to you our brothers. We got Jay Wash, and we also got our brother BG in the building. What's up, fellas?
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on, man?
I'm excited to be here, man. Really excited about this opportunity.
Well, we excited to have y'all, man. And, we've been kind of teasing it for the last week or so, and now that time is here. It's official. The business has been taken care of. The contracts are signed. The hands have been shaken. Yeah, you know what I mean? And so,
the easy part is over, right?
The easy part is over. Now it's time. Now it's time to work. And so, what I want y'all to do is I want y'all to share with the Legacy Internet Radio listeners what is the pregame. Tell us in your own words what y'all gonna be talking about.
Well, that's obviously we're gonna be talking about a few things, man. A few things. First of all, the pregame, we thought that was a killer name. Obviously, it's a Friday night show. Let's get that weekend started right, and we're gonna help y'all get there. Everybody should tune in. Anything and everything you've ever thought about talking about, nothing is off limits with us, right? No filters.
We only talking about the taboo topics. Yeah.
It's I know it's me, my good buddy BG, our good friend Pete, Jane Wash, and Bob. It's a crew of us, man, and most of the time be at least 4 of us on the show.
Okay.
And really, man, we just got a great band of characters, man, with different perspectives on similar ideas, man. It's gonna give everybody an opportunity to kind of just gain a little insight on things, man, and just topics that you already discussing that you might not be willing to discuss outside of your living room.
Right.
We're gonna take it there for you.
You gonna make
Right.
folks uncomfortable?
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
Absolutely. That's the
That's
purpose.
what
That's
we
the
wanna
reason I'm on.
hear.
That's the reason I'm on air. It's too many times I've been in certain people's living rooms and things get a little heated. So
Right.
I'm protected by the airways now. So it's gonna get
You ain't gonna be
turned up.
protected once that phone start ringing and people start hitting you up on social media, boy. You better be able to back it up, which
It's better
I
than the
know you
physical.
can.
It's better than the physical. I can draw a blow from you.
Listen, that's why we kept asking. You sure we can say anything? Now? You was like, yo, anything?
Hey, look, y'all plan on pissing some folks off?
Oh, no doubt.
No doubt.
Standing
no
ovation.
doubt. No
That's what
doubt.
I'm
Come
talking
natural.
about.
Come natural.
That's what I'm talking about. So, I got to ask the obvious difficult question. I'm not sure how I'm going to ask it, but I'm going to just come right out with it. Jay Wash, you got on an ugly ass hat.
Listen. I was wondering how long before you took it there. And ladies and gentlemen, what he's referring to was this beautiful state of the art Dallas Cowboy hat with the matching shirt. I mean, I don't. And you got to understand that he's a Giants fan, so he had to take it there. And I've been sitting here waiting, biting my nails, and just hoping that I would have a chance to talk about my team.
Please do. And, and just in the interest of full disclosure, you guys were here when we were talking about the NFC East in that first segment.
Oh, yes.
And I was watching y'all, and y'all was itching to get in, and I didn't give you an opportunity because I wanted to give you a full platform to be able to say, "Oh man, you got an ugly hat on too." I just noticed it. I wanted to give y'all a full platform.
It's
Floor is
contagious,
yours.
man. And by the end of the season, you gonna probably have on some cowboy apparel
That is
as well.
never in your life gonna happen.
Oh, did you see the back of it?
He's the coach.
Coach.
He's the coach.
Cowboys. Cowboys.
Oh man, that's what I'm talking about. Cowboys, man.
Man. Big Joe said it all, though, man. I mean, at this point, to be able to be winning and not play, much to be said. I mean, the rest of the NFC East, man, they should be on notice, and the rest of the NFC period. Right. I mean, looking at the rest of these teams right now, I watched some of the games. Him talked about it earlier.
Right.
We look like to be in a real good position to have a good spot for the playoffs, and it's crazy to be a Cowboy fan and this early in the season to be able to talk about playoffs. But
right.
I think it's realistic, and I don't think anybody's looking at the Cowboys and saying, other than Ruben here, that we're gonna be 8-8. You know what I mean? So
y'all smack the champs, BG.
And look at it, man. You look at the Eagles, and they down without their quarterback. Arizona, they won 14-6 yesterday, but I don't know, man. I think with Drew Stanton, man, they can be beat.
Right.
So I think really, man, it
was a tough break for them to lose Carson Palmer a week after he signed a 3-year extension.
Yeah, no doubt.
And
Too bad he's
down
in the NFL. That's gonna be off the books in 2 years.
Man. And I'll be honest with you. I mean, he coming out was at USC. I think he was supposed to have this great career, and it's been injury riddled everywhere he went. He's had to have the injuries, and then of course he went to NFL purgatory in Oakland a couple years, and you thought he had a good situation set up in Arizona, and I'll be honest with you, I'd be curious to see Arizona as the first team in NFL history to actually host a Super Bowl. Right. There'll be plenty of time to be disrespectful. No disrespect to the Cowboys, but I would like to see that just for the historical aspect. We had hoped to see it with the Giants a couple years ago. That didn't work out. So, BG, you got some more of your crew here. Why don't you tell the listeners who we got here?
We got Jane Wash in the house.
Hello.
What's happening, Jane Wash?
Hi, how are you?
You also a Cowboys fan?
I am.
See,
I am.
But you're a lady, so I'm not sure I want to really pick on you too bad. But
you're American?
I mean, you can bring it. I can take it.
You can take it?
I can take it.
Your team sucks.
My team does not suck. My team is doing very well.
Tell me something great about the Cowboys. Just anything
We're America's
great.
team. I mean, that says it all.
That says it.
I don't think I need to say much more.
It irks the hell out of me when I hear of someone talking about an expansion football team as America's team, because y'all was an expansion team when y'all was created in 1960. You know what I mean? The Giants had already won a bunch of titles by then. Y'all just came out of nowhere.
A bunch?
Yeah, man. Shoot. So who else we got? We
got my main man Pete in the house.
Yo.
What's going on, Pete?
This person you've never heard of.
Hey, look. So two things. All right, two things. The Cowboys are like Mitt Romney, or like they're like miscongeniality, right?
Wow.
They just
He
happen
called
to
the
be
Cowboys
here.
Mitt
I won
Romney.
the primaries. I'm the prettiest girl because I helped everybody else out. Y'all celebrate mediocrity, and I'm disappointed in my team. Right, we're 6-4, 49ers. I'm disappointed. Y'all celebrate that mediocrity.
We're celebrating. How we celebrating by?
Because y'all running around telling the world how great y'all is, and you haven't done it
season
since
champs.
That's what you heard me
1995.
say. I mean, it's hard to not admit that you're great when you got 5
But you
rings.
do realize you
I
do realize that you strike me as a rational person who's only
I
going
try
to
to
speak
be.
about what's going on. But you got to wear this for the rest of your Cowboys. Y'all are an obnoxious lot. Okay.
it's like people either love you or they love to hate you when you're a Cowboy fan. You're America's team. You're God's team.
Yeah, I don't mind that they're obnoxious. I think that's good for business. What I think is y'all need to stop celebrating mediocrity.
What the hell are you talking about?
Y'all celebrate this regular season wins
stay with me
too
for a
much.
minute. Stay with me for a minute.
I'll stay with you.
Ask me this. Ask any fan of football what the Cowboy record is, and he can tell you. You guys in my division, I don't know.
I don't know what your record is right now.
You know.
No, honestly, I don't. I know that you.
They have no chance in the playoffs. Every team in the playoff race.
You either a half game ahead or a half game behind the Eagles. That's
every
all I know.
every time the Cowboys lose, you hear about it. And it don't matter who you're playing that with.
Ask them the Redskins record.
Right.
They're fighting for the bottom right now. They don't want to. You don't want to be the bottom of the bottom of the.
There it goes.
Man.
What I do know is the last time the Cowboys were 5-1, they ended up 8-8. Thank you.
that was Ruben, the Redskins fan.
The Redskin Cowboy historian.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then we also have OG Barb Evans in the house.
OG Barb
OG stands for original Ghanaian.
Yeah, straight off the Amistad boat. We finally got her in.
Oh my gosh!
Man.
Export, import
No
goods.
boundaries, right?
Listen, no filter. Listen, we want to give y'all a
radio.
legit preview on what this show is going to be about.
Y'all gonna be going in on
We
each
don't
other
want
like
to
that?
relax.
Filter-free radio.
Hey, what's going on, sister? How you doing?
Hello.
It's good to see you. We just had you join us here. So are you a football fan as well?
I can't
That's soccer to
say
her,
that
man.
I'm
Real football. We play real football.
Y'all go.
no.
Listen, a little background. She's from Ghana, so her concept on what we do over here. You got to be clear to her. You got to say American football. You say football, she thinking that round ball with dots.
This is America. This we gonna say what we say here. Since when we changing up for people that's not
I'm
here?
fully aware what football
There you go.
is. I just,
There you go.
I'm
Don't you
very
let them
interested,
do that to you, girl.
She translated for me.
There you go.
Marcus is wild. You a wild boy? He's a wild.
Oh my God!
How dare you treat our ladies like that, man?
You're killing me. Y'all killing me. They don't have Steppin, Marcus. Yeah, we got the crew of the pregame in the building with us. They are new show joining the lineup of Legacy Internet Radio every single Friday night from 8 to 10.
I feel cool. I've never been referred to as a crew member. Right?
Did you just
Like the
interrupt
jackets, man.
Had a nice promo
Marcus
going.
He interrupted.
And I was in the middle of the nice
new to
promo,
this.
nice
He's new to
plug,
this.
and whatnot.
Just start over.
And there he go. If he wasn't a 49ers fan, I might not get on him. But
Because we set y'all up earlier this week.
nah, y'all
It's the
beat us.
light-skinned
Is he really
yesterday.
not gonna let you finish your plot?
Nah, he
on your
he
show,
got
Mark.
me. He
It's
got
the
me
light
there.
skin in him.
After
He
you
just
signed
take
that
over,
contract,
You know what
man.
it is?
It's
You know what it is?
definitely the light
It's me
skin.
being a gracious host.
We signed that contract, man. Now we just
Nah,
we like
it's the
little
gracious
brothers
host in
now.
me.
You gotta let us get away with that one.
Really? I gotta let you?
Yeah, man. You.
Oh
got
hell no!
That's what you do.
No. I don't go down like that.
What the
Especially
hell?
with it being a 49er fan. Let me finish that point.
Yeah.
Y'all suck.
Drop mic. Exit stage left.
Y'all suck. But no, I'm glad to see you guys and ladies here, part of Legacy Internet Radio, part of our crew, and of course y'all's crew. We all family here, and so we look forward to a long partnership with you guys. Look forward to having you guys meet other folks from the other shows, and we're big on fellowshipping and making sure that if there's any support that's needed, we get it from our listeners. And we get it from each other. 804-402-2893 is the number to dial if you want to be down with us. If you want to hit us up in social media, feel free. Or if you just want to sit back and listen to us kind of shoot the breeze about a whole bunch of stuff, that's what we are going to do or continue doing. The crew of the pregame is going to be with us for a little while. And what I want to do, if that's cool with y'all, is I want to kind of indoctrinate you guys into what we do here on Ain't No Half Stab on Marcus J. We do a segment every single week that we call What the Hell. What the Hell basically is a segment that we do when you read it or you see it or you hear about it. You turn your head to the side, you cock one eye up, and you go, what the hell is going on with that story? So that's kind of the setup, and I got a whole bunch of them. May not get to them all, but we're gonna get to some. Does that sound like the pregame?
Cool.
Something that y'all can be
Can't
down with?
wait.
Yeah. All right. So I'm not even sure how I'm gonna even get into the beginning of this one. So I'm gonna just show y'all the picture. I'm sure y'all know this. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and deliver this to y'all and get it nice and set up.
What the hell?
What she say?
Listen.
What else?
Wait. You want me to explain?
It's a Ghana
Listen.
thing, man.
She has. When something's super funny,
Yeah.
you get to snort. So I don't know.
Oh, she's snorting?
Yeah. Listen.
That's not a drug reference.
No, because
That's
she
not
got
a
the
drug
face right there.
reference.
She-
Radio land.
She's so embarrassed.
Her eyes are
She's so
closed and she
embarrassed.
laughing so hard. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get.
Goodness.
That's what's going on.
Oh my God! All right. Well, if just me setting it up has got you laughing so hard, then as I read into the story, because I want everybody's opinion on this one. This one is about Andrew Caldwell, and a lot of people may not know the name Andrew Caldwell, but you know the phrase because you've seen it all over YouTube, you've seen it all over Facebook, you've seen it all over social media. I'm not gay no more. I am delivered. I don't like men's no more. I said I like women, and then he starts going crazy.
Oh, you do that good.
Yeah. That's because I watched it so many damn times. It's funny as hell. Just like I watched Sweet Brown a million times. I know that whole thing as well. But anyway, here's what I want to get into. Here's what I want to ask. Jay Wall, jump in here first, man. What the hell is going on with the church? Because, see, what I like to do oftentimes is I want to kind of ask the uncomfortable question. The comfortable question would be to sit back and just laugh at this dude, which we've all done plenty of. But the uncomfortable question is, what's up with this pastor that stood there in the middle of his church and watched this madness ensue? What you think?
I know what you did just now. See, you want people to be mad at me before my show even gets started.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think that this is too far fetched left. I mean, I think it served its purpose, man. It got likes. It generated buzz for that pastor and for that church. I think that's the point of that, man. I think this is one of those moves to gain a little attention and get a little focus on themselves, and I think that's what happened.
BG, what you think, man?
I'm a free spirit, man. I say to each his own. What the hell is the problem with this man exercising his rights to freely publicize how you feel? Live and let live.
I can dig it. Big Bro Joe, what you think?
Yeah, so the only thing that was a problem was
Okay,
that it was
not Big Bro
hilarious.
He's still figuring this thing out.
Yeah, I know. It's all right.
The only
He's a microphone bully, this guy.
Pete, man.
It's the light skin in him. I'm telling you.
Is that what it is? He got an authority complex over there?
Up for himself, right? Light skinned people always feel like somebody's coming for them.
Oh my goodness! All right, I'm gonna let him go for it, brothers.
Prime example. Look, gotta be barking and stuff.
Ruben too.
So check it out, right? So the only thing that I had a problem with was how funny it was, right? It was just comedic to me to see that. But yeah, this young brother, he's got every right to be gay or flamboyant or not be gay or flamboyant. The only problem I have is that he's lying about it. You know what I'm saying? He's lying about it. Don't lie about it. Donnie McClurkin with the whole, I'm not gay anymore. You are gay, sir. People are gay. You're not gay anymore. Just because you decide not to exercise or act on that act, you still like boys. It's all right, man. But people have been taught that they're not supposed to like boys, so they don't like boys.
So it's like herpes?
Got it. Oh shit! Wow.
Gays like
Did you
herpes?
just compare gay to herpes?
Your gays in
Listen, we've just lost 10 views.
So
Yeah, I'm
can't say that
not
H
sure
word,
where we're
man.
going with that
You're
one.
gay.
Hold up, fellas. Hold up. I am gonna need you to explain that one.
You can't say that.
No.
on the air.
I'm gonna let him explain that. We gonna all cut mics off.
But can
Be
we say
quiet
that on
and
the
let him-
air? Can you say that?
You can't be not gay.
You can say what the
anymore.
hell you want.
You can't not, like.
I mean, so if you're 30 years old,
Right.
and somehow God tells you you're not gay anymore, I don't believe that. I don't believe.
The Almighty, all powerful. He
I don't
turned his
believe-
own-
yeah,
He turned his own microphone up. What are you doing?
I don't believe that somehow you can no longer be gay anymore because you claim that you're not because God delivered you. I think you're lying in front of everybody. And I think this guy was a testimony to how people be lying in front of people. If he won't gay anymore, you're not gay anymore, sir. You don't have to make a whole scene. He dressed up in a clown suit and all of that. He had the clown bow tie on. He wanted a scene.
Well, I
It's
think
his style.
He
That's
was
what I'm
delivered.
saying. He was delivered.
And that very moment, he came in the church gay. He walked out straight.
That's the biggest
That doesn't
load of
happen?
shit. I swear to God. I gotta stop, y'all.
How limited is your God's power?
I gotta stop. I gotta stop you.
How limited is your God's power?
No, I
I
gotta.
know, yeah.
Here's why.
I don't know about your God. I don't know about your God, but
Here's why I gotta. Here's why I gotta stop you, because I 100% agree with what you were saying. When you gonna be who you gonna be, you know what I mean. You walk in here and you expect us to believe that you not gay no more. Like, really? It's all right if that's how you want to roll, but you ain't got to make this big deal about it. And my deal was, it wasn't so much him, because again, like you said, he was a comedian. Like, that shit was just funny.
Yeah.
It just was. It was funny. It was flamboyant. It was over the top. And it's one of the things that me personally, I mean, I'm not a Christian person. I'm not somebody that goes to church every Sunday, you know, because of stuff like that. I just don't want to see the theatrics. I can do without it. I grew up in a church where people would fall out every week, and I just thought it was silly. I still think it's silly. And so I watched this dude, and he reminded me of Benita Freeman, who would fall out every Sunday at 122.
You remember her name?
Absolutely. every Sunday at 122, I would see Benita Freeman fall out. That's what this dude reminded me of, and it did not seem to me genuine. Because he was, I don't want to be disrespectful, and I'm bordering on being disrespectful, so I don't want to do that. But I just thought it was bullshit. Big Joe.
I don't think it would be disrespectful at all. The new family member said it best. Yo, be yourself. That was bullshit. I'm sorry. Go past me with that bullshit.
Yeah.
One more time. Bullshit.
Yeah, it was.
That got on my nerves. Really.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gonna flip and flop around like you. Really?
Let me ask one of the ladies. Ladies, how do y'all feel when you saw that? And let me just preface it by saying this. I mean, I made it plain how I feel about church and all of that kind of stuff. But the thing for me was the past. I'm getting a call here, so we'll come back to the ladies here in just a moment. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. You got Marcus J on the live line, and you got Marcus J in the studio. You got a caller on the live line. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
First giving honor to God, who's the head of my life.
You gonna tell me your name, caller?
In the pulpit.
Caller, you gonna tell me your name? Where you calling from?
This is Reverend Cat Ron.
Okay. Well, we got the crew in here, and I'm about to introduce you to Click if you don't get on with it.
Okay, brother, what I'm trying to say is, see, that young man was able to rinse that thing right out of his hair with the help of God. See, that young man had God in his life.
Okay.
He told that young man that another man asked, well, it looks like no, and now he knows that.
Look here, Rev. Let me ask you this, Rev, because this is getting a little awkward. So I'm just gonna ask you straight up. You a reverend? Would you allow this in your church? Would you allow the theatrics in your church?
No, I wouldn't have to know. I couldn't have that.
Okay. All right. Well, anything else you want to get in on this one, Rev? Because the slow speeches, you're killing me. You're killing
had
me.
a blessed week in your hands.
What?
Hey, Rev, go hug Sister Odell.
That's all I said.
Look like they think the Reverend.
All right, Rev. We're gonna let you go, man. Call us back. I tell you, boy, the crazies come out of nowhere when you get certain stories. I think we said enough on this one, but I do want to get one of the ladies in on this. Of course, we appreciate Rev calling in. I don't know if that's Rev's real name, but we appreciate the call. Either of you want to give me something on Mr. Caldwell?
Okay, so I kind of feel like a fish out of water on this one because I think I have a different opinion from everyone. I didn't think that man was faking it. I think he was honestly in some sort of trance. I don't know about you all, but I'm no expert on church and I'm not a very religious person, but I have had experiences where you get caught up in the spirit, you get caught up in the moment, and people behave that way. I don't think he was doing it for attention. I sincerely think that that's how he was feeling in that moment. I disagree with this whole idea of acting as though being gay is an affliction and it's something to be rid of. But I do think that in that moment, in that very moment, he just got really excited. So there's nothing wrong with it. It's not fake. He was expressing himself. That's how some people worship. They get very hysterical, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's the message that's a little problematic. Acting as though gayness is something to be prayed away is a problem, but expressing it that way, I think it's fine.
That's fair. I can dig it. That's an interesting, as you set it up by saying it was an interesting perspective, and I hadn't thought about it. I actually tend to agree with you. If that's, I think we alluded to that. If that's how you are, if that's what you are, then go ahead and be who you are. I guess I personally haven't really fleshed out how I feel about the church part, because that for me is really what kind of irked me, because I just thought it was just the whole production in the church with, the pastor, kind of delivering him, and he hands him the mic, and then he turns around, and that's when you got the I'm delivered and all of that kind of stuff. That to me
happens on a regular basis.
And I always, even whether it's the deliverance of the sin of sexuality, if I'm speaking from someone who feels that it's a sin. Because there are a lot of people, I'm sure, that were in that room who felt like this man was delivered from his sin. And
they
so
came out their pockets with more money, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, for me, it's just it was the theatrics under the guise of even though I'm not a religious person, I hold it in a high esteem. So there's certain things that for me it's just not a good look, and that was just one of them. I just did not like the production, and I just wanted to know if other people thought that I was tripping. Am I tripping?
I mean, I agree with you. You got to look at it several parts. Like you said, we're not religious people. And no. I can drop that too. I'm a spiritual person. Now, do you believe that spirits can actually envelop a person?
Right.
Yeah. But that was still bullshit.
Yeah.
Quit.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Oh, well, first of all, like I said, if you're going to be yourself, be yourself. And
that's my point, is that he was being himself in that moment. There are people who are flamboyant people.
And there's people that change their mind.
And I think it would be very absurd for us to expect that he would get in front of a group of people
or
be in a situation where it's
you don't know. Wait, how you going to say that? We go every day and we look at politicians, and they are absurd people all day long. They sit there and they put forth airs and they do everything else they want to do. I think, and I agree with your sister, but I can't agree with you on that. This dude right here, he jumped up and down. How much money did he get paid? Haven't you seen, what was that one with Bill Martin?
There's also been stories, sister, that I wasn't aware of this until today, but apparently he has he's got some con history.
Okay.
Apparently,
now those
he's
are
been.
Facts we can go off.
Yeah.
But if we're making conclusions just based on this video that's been released, I think it's a little far fetched to assume that all of this was a production and that it was all being staged. There are people who are very flamboyant.
Right.
Chances are, if you were to meet this guy in his day-to-day life, this is how he behaves.
Yeah,
it
that's
just
possible.
So happened that there was a camera there.
No. So perhaps can I perhaps maybe say what others perhaps are thinking as well? Maybe we're not getting our point across clearly. This guy, the way he acted was not a problem. It was the combination of the way he acted with what he was claiming he was delivered from.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So it wasn't authentic. I don't think he was being not himself. He was being himself. But how do you be yourself and then deny that you're being the way that you are?
Right.
They were just talking about sissies in the congregation. He was clearly acting like a quote unquote sissy, and then claimed that he wasn't gay anymore. So I think that's what I'm saying.
And he was saying it in a very effeminate way.
And I think that's the part where we're missing that we're not speaking on, is that he started off with putting on a very feminine voice, and it went from a feminine voice to an extreme masculine voice. That's what gives the impression that, listen, this is some theatrics. You know what I mean? Yeah, right. That's what makes you question authenticity of it. You know what I mean? So I mean that's what kind of made me think like, This is just from you. Man.
Yeah.
Sins was washed away, man. He a man now. He's still here. He's still strong.
I'm just saying, I have been in churches where, I've seen people, and this is, firsthand experience. I'm not just retelling stories I've heard. I've seen people literally caught up in the moment of that. And if you read anything about hysteria and just group thinking, the power of all of that, it really can have an effect on somebody. I've seen people get out of the wheelchair, walk around, and of course, when it's all said and done, they go back to the problematic state that they were in. But in that very moment, something occurred in them that was powerful enough that they believed that some healing had happened.
I'll be honest
and
with
just
you.
based off of the strength of that, they were able to get up and walk. So I'm just saying.
Was this in Ghana?
I'm a.
Was this in
I
Ghana?
mean, I got you. I got you, sister. And
I'm
we-
just
church?
telling my
I got you,
experience.
sister. I'm gonna respectfully agree to disagree with you, simply because I'm someone who speaks logically, and there's no logic to that, and so I have a hard time with it. And it's just me personally. And you're also talking about the kid who was 12 when Benita Freeman was falling out. Like really? Like, what the hell's wrong with her? Like, every time I
We're
saw that
applying
stuff.
logic to a spiritual situation.
Exactly, and
We're
that's
talking about
exactly,
something that
and that's me. That's how I look at that stuff, and that's the way my brain works, which is the reason why I've got a problem personally with organized religion, because I can't wrap my brain around it. Logically, it doesn't make sense to me. So when I see this dude in a church, the same church that has the same church that has the pastor hand him the mic, and then the theatrics, like, to me, it was funny. It was funny.
It was definitely funny.
It was
Well, and
funny,
let
but
me-
I also I'm gonna let you speak. Sis.
Yeah.
But I also came back to, even though I have an issue with those theatrics, I also have a certain level of respect for those folks who dedicated their life to something as powerful as their own religion, even though I don't agree with it. You see what I'm saying? So the pastor is, more than anybody, is kind of who I'm looking at. Like, really, dude?
Right.
You like really, dude?
Yeah, I guess I'm just saying that, especially in a religious context, that whole scenario might have a lot more validity to some people than we appreciate, especially looking at it with the circular eye. It's just, a lot of people believe in that, and it's a very real possibility that he was not faking. I'm just saying, it's another opinion to consider.
No, I got
Even
you.
if it was just within the context of that moment. It's very likely that something inside of him
After he
made
got
him
off stage,
feel as
he was
though-
gay again.
Yeah, and again, I'm
Damn,
not.
boo.
As I stated earlier, I'm not in agreement with the whole message, and I think it's very wrong to act as though homosexuality is an affliction and it needs to be prayed away and needs to be cured. All of that, I completely disagree with that. But within that moment, within that religious context, I'm saying that there's a very real possibility that this man simply displayed what he felt, and that it wasn't staged.
We should
That's
be
all I'm saying.
we should be careful with putting that whole ideology on a pedestal. This idea that it's okay in a moment to be fucking insane.
We
is
don't use
ridiculous to
that
me.
word, so bring that one back.
So
Bring that one back.
So excuse me, but that's ridiculous, because that's why ISIS is doing what they're doing.
Right.
That's why people justify how they act with religion, because instantly I'm some other person.
Right.
That's insane to me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You can be authentically religious
To
or
some
spiritual
people,
and be a
that
good.
is the power
You can be
of religion. The
Exactly.
power to
Oh,
be
but you notice-
transformed.
Oh, exactly.
I'm not
That's how
saying it's an
dangerous it is.
excuse.
Yeah, that's how dangerous it
I'm not
is.
saying that it's an excuse or that it justifies any type of behavior. I'm just saying that it's a phenomenon that's very real.
and it's
very real.
and it's
Yeah, but
not it's
religion. Think about that whole word that you just said. And I'm glad you brought up the point of ISIS. Religion has been getting people killed and they messed up in their head for years and years and years.
So has the government. So has bad policy. So has a lot of things. That doesn't
Okay, but
no one
demonize-
worships
government-
anybody but God in religion, though. You don't worship government. People hate government.
Nah, I can't agree with that one either.
Who doesn't
I
hate
know a
government? The
lot of
5
people-
people on welfare?
If we're talking
or
about
the millions of
attitude,
people
we're
who
talking
hate
about
people.
the behavior, because I think we worship money. We worship those materialistic things. Even though you might not say, like, I'm literally worshiping it, that's our aim in a lot of ways. So I don't know if you can.
No, look at
really
the
say
Tea
it's
Party.
not.
They worship certain things. Quit playing. Mormons, Mormons, they worship certain things. I mean, it is what it is.
I
Catholics,
think
they
I
praise
understand.
it.
I think I understand the point that you're making, though. I mean, I think we're splitting hairs when we talk about worshiping a government and things of that sort. I mean, we talk about religion. We're not talking about government. We're talking about religion, and we talk about worshiping a higher power, which You know, you don't have to be religious to accept and understand a higher power. And I think that's a lot of times where we get it twisted, because it's been my experience, and that's kind of like my disclaimer for taking a shot at somebody. It's been my experience that Christian people think that if you ain't a Christian, then you going to hell. You know, and this was how I was raised to think until I decided to retrain my mind to think my own way.
Right.
And I think that, well, I should say, I know that, you know, you're going to be who you're going to be fundamentally. And I don't think that you need to stand in front of a room full of strangers and tell everybody in the room that you're not going to do something that's perceived, whether it is or it isn't, perceived as negative, in this case being gay. You don't have to go and tell these people, I'm not gay no more. I'm delivered from that. I like women. Like that pronouncement and the pastor governing that, to me, was the big problem with this.
Oh, think about what you just said. See, this is the beauty, but here's the beauty about what somebody brings logic into something powerful like spirituality, where you can mirror these two bridges. I mean, you can bridge these two gaps. No one wakes up and says, I'm not a liar anymore. I don't lie anymore. You know what you do? I'm not religious either, but what religious people do, they pray, they work, they talk about it, they work on it. So when you're a thief or you're a liar, you don't say that you're not a liar anymore. You still lie, but you still work on it. This whole idea that he can't be gay anymore is stupid to me. You know what I'm saying? If he genuinely believes it's a sin, then he needs to be working on it every single day. God doesn't deliver you from being a liar or a thief. He doesn't. You control your own actions, and with the power of him through religion, you perhaps think he has some way of keeping you in control, but still, you got to work on yourself. This idea that he's not, I've never heard anybody say that. I'm not a thief anymore. I'm not a sinner anymore.
I've
you
heard
don't
a lot
say
of
that.
people say I'm not an alcoholic anymore.
Yeah, and I was going
but
to say
they
the
went
same
right
thing.
out and got another drink.
This is all right. Here's another one. Here's a good question. Here's a question. So the idea that to be gay is an affliction, where's the root of that from? It's from his religious beliefs. So therefore, there's the reason why he decided to go in front of the church and say, hey, listen, you guys disagree with this lifestyle that I've been living. Well, God has delivered me from this. Because he's taught that God believes that, you know, that homosexuality is unacceptable. It's a sin. Right? It's not acceptable in that church. So I'm sure, like, let's create a scenario. He went in front of the pastor, said, Pastor, you know what? It's been bothering me, You know what? And I'm delivering. The pastor said to him, you know what? You should share that with the communion. You should share that with everybody. You should share this experience so that you can motivate other people. And I mean, I think that's a realistic
I can dig
that
that.
could have happened.
That is 100% plausible. And I'm hoping that's how it went down, because the way you laid it out, it's logical. I can wrap my brain around that.
Okay, but Marcus Shea, think about this. In what you just said, you made the statement that, you know, religion does not or shuns homosexuality or gayness, correct?
He asked the question. He didn't say that.
Well,
He asked the question.
What I'm saying is the perception. Okay, let's go back. Right. The perception, because that's the perception. Because then you made it an acceptance piece. You made it, okay, well, let me go in front of the church, and maybe they were about to kick him out of the church. We don't know the whole background about what was going on.
Right.
So they're going to say, well, now that you're going to accept me because I'm not gay, but I'm still going to creep around. And to your point, and do the same dirt that I was doing.
That's where you were going, right?
Yeah, I'm still a liar. Look, there was a guy in the South somewhere who wouldn't bury a gay man because he was gay.
Yeah, we talked about that on this show.
He was gay.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? How you say that? Does he walk up to the guy who lied and who cheated on his wife and who schemed, who plotted? You don't say that to people who sin.
You know why?
But somehow, some idea that these guys are gay and they can be delivered from their gayness is ridiculous. I'd respect somebody who says I'm a gay man who's never going to sleep with another man because my God says I can't.
Right.
But I realize I wake up with this struggle every single day.
Nah.
They don't be honest. They're not honest with themselves.
Again, we're talking about what somebody believes.
Well, that's selective sinning. And you know, if you, again, I'm not a religious person, but what I know about religion, particularly the Christian faith, is what I was raised with. A sin is a sin. So not only is a sin, you know, if you ask for forgiveness, you know, and you show true contrition for your sins, then you should be all good. So again, you're making some really good points, because you know, if you say I ain't gonna lie no more, and then you turn around and you go ahead and lie some more.
But you just lied when you said I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
But you don't need to say I'm
Isn't
not.
that how
the first
Christianity
lie.
works, though? Isn't that how?
No. This is what. No. Here's what.
But once you acknowledge
I
your
repent
fault,
for my sin,
but once
I
you
mess
acknowledge,
up,
but
I
once you
repent
acknowledge
again.
that fault and you ask for forgiveness, and once you're forgiven, there's no turning back from that.
Look, you're not
At least there shouldn't be.
You're not supposed to go back.
Kids kill themselves because they can't deal with this struggle. And for them not to be authentic, we're not even getting the point right now. Listen to me. So when these guys say that they're not gay anymore, they're lying to themselves. They need to listen to me. When you're gay, you always like men. Be honest with yourself, okay? No. But wouldn't you not respect somebody more if they said I'm gay today, but I'm not gonna kiss a man because I don't believe in that.
But
it's the act. It's not the person. Nobody says that they're a liar because they're not liars. They just lie every once in a while.
listen, let me ask you this. So
It's an act. It's not. It's
Right.
You're not God ain't making no promises to deliver you from
we're making these
being a
absolute
liar.
statements here, man. That's what's crazy to me. I'm totally against absolute statements, man.
I was under the impression that we're talking about this one moment.
Right.
We're talking about this guy, this little video that was released, and it's a gay man, and he's in front of a population, a congregation, and he's saying that he no longer feels that he's gay. He feels that he's been delivered. I have to say that I think the part of the reason that this has gotten the type of attention that it has, or that a lot of people are up in arms about it, is because of the subject of homosexuality.
Absolutely.
I think that if this man...
Go ahead, finish your point. We
I
had a
think
caller.
if
We're gonna
he
come to the
got
caller
up
in a
and
minute.
said
Finish your point.
something else completely different. You know, I like you said, I don't steal anymore. I've been delivered. I
Right.
no longer steal. That it wouldn't have been so much of an upheaval. That's the problem that I have with it. That we can't invalidate it just because it's about a subject that there's a
that we
lot
don't
of
like.
controversy. Yeah,
That we don't like. Ain't no hashtag on Marcus J. We got a caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Bishop Tony Roberts.
This is who?
This is Bishop Tito Tony Pointed.
Okay.
And I want to say that, I'm discouraged by faith. Go ahead. Y'all don't believe that this...
All right, caller, we got a bad connection. Call back on a better line. We're gonna continue the discussion and go to a different story. I think we've kind of spoken all we can speak on this particular subject. I want BG to jump in on this one first. BG, they declared a state of emergency in Ferguson, Missouri today?
Oh, really?
Yes. Do you know why?
Tell me why.
They have declared a state of emergency today ahead of the announcement of whether they will indict officer, someone help me with his name,
Wilson.
Darren Wilson, in the, I'm going to call murder of Mike Brown. The fact that they've declared a state of emergency ahead of the announcement, I think that's worth talking about. I got some opinions. I'm going to send the mic around the room and let y'all kind of chop it up. The Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J crew, as well as the pregame crew. Let y'all all chop it up, and then I'll jump in at the end. I want you up first, BG. What you got?
I think it's smart. It's things need to be put in place. Measurements need to be taken to preventative. Yeah, exactly. Preventative measures. I think either way the verdict comes out, it's potentially going to be explosive. It's a lot of emotion wrapped around it. It's a touchy situation. Unfortunately, it seems to have blurred lines when it comes to what's factual, and it's unfortunate. I'm not looking forward to the aftermath either way. I think it's going to be an explosive situation, and I don't think that. Again, I'm looking forward to it.
Big Robe, we haven't heard much from you, which is a rarity in legacy internet radio history. You ain't got much to say, so I'm gonna put you on the spot, my brother. Ferguson, state of emergency ahead of the verdict. The fact that they've declared a state of emergency this evening, tells me that the decision on the indictment is imminent. So what do you think?
I think it is very intelligent, because regardless of what decision is, it's not going to be pretty there. So at least go ahead and get yourself ready for the for probably one of the biggest, I don't want to say fights because I don't think it's going to be a fight. It could be a riot. Either way, with this guy. And, that's at this point in time, that's the right thing to do. My only thought process is, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm really shocked that this guy still lives there. I'm just really shocked by the whole process of how this has happened. I think it's taken way too long, and this is bound to happen, so he needs to take care of business. So I thought it was a good idea.
Joe?
I'm on the flip side of that coin, folks. I don't think that I think it's a premature measure. I think that what it's doing is making it insightful that the fact that something's going to happen because of the situation. It's making black folks, and I'm sorry, this is just me. I think it's making black folks look real bad, like we have no self-control, like we have no power to sit there and make a decision like, okay, guess what? I know emotions are running high. I know feelings are going to the left, but I just feel that it's putting us in a bad light off the top. You're not even giving us a chance to sit there and process the decision. We don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, nobody in here is a mind reader. If it's yes, it is. If it's no, it's not. I mean, historically, things have gone one way. They've gone several different ways. But having been in law enforcement before, and having been prepped for things like this, having to be the person on that front line with that stick and that shield, having to look at your brother in the eye and be like, yo, this is what's about to go down and I'm still going to have to do this job, I think it's a little bit premature.
Jay Wash, what do you think, man?
Go ahead, Pete. Pete, this is one of Pete's favorite topics.
Okay, Pete, what you got, man?
This whole idea that us is being identified, we got to stop identifying ourselves with the entire black race. You are your own man. We're all individuals in here. If Josh goes out and kills somebody, Josh killed him. And my white colleagues, they never talk about how we look at white people. And we have irresponsible conversations about N-words and all types of stuff, trust me. And so these are the type of people that would tell me anything. We just got to be careful because I'm not going to look at any black person, and nor are my white friends, Luke and Jay. None of those guys are going to look at black people any differently. When Bundy is a great example, in the Bundy clan, the white guys in Arizona and New Mexico, where the government brought guns, and they brought guns because Bundy didn't want to give up his land. This happened last year.
We talked about that too.
Nobody identified white people as some irresponsible gun rioters. We got to stop doing that because nobody does it to us except for us. So that's all
that's where I'm going to vehemently disagree with you. But
I'm sorry. I got a mass audience here, so I got to correct what I said. I don't mean nobody, but I mean the majority of people do not care about this the way black people do, and I'll stick by that statement, and I'll defend that statement against anybody.
Now, I agree with that. I think this is I think that as black people, we look at and this is why you're gonna love the show. I think that this is another example of us finding a situation and an incident that happened between a black person and a white person, and we're looking for, is it a race issue? And that seems to be what's imminent. Is this an issue that's related to race? Is the reason why he did this because he's racist? Is this an example of racism? And I think the point that I think Pete is trying to make is that we're the only ones that do that. We're the only ones that have, as black people, we're the only ones who have issues and be like, oh, that was racism, right?
I'd like to add to that. I don't think anybody in this room could have been Mike Brown. Can I make that statement? Would a cop be able to push you so far to get shot? Would a cop? Example. Let me push it. I'm gonna put my foot on it right quick. I'm gonna put my foot on it. So you're walking up the street. You, Josh, with 4 kids. You're walking up the street. A cop says something inappropriate to you.
Right.
You say something back. Mm-hmm. Is he not winning that argument?
Absolutely. But let me tell you the problem. The problem is that I agree with you.
So all I'm saying is we need to let's start to be honest and make some improvements here where the improvements need to be made. Let's not put race on things.
Watch this. Now, here's the problem. I'm very confident that I could probably avoid a situation like that, but I have kids now.
What are you going to teach them?
Do I have that same confidence in them? Do I have that same confidence that my kids are going to be able to pick and choose the right friends that when they're in a situation like that they all make the right decision? Because one bad decision from one person in that group get me in trouble for all of them, and you know that. That's the problem that we all face, and that's the truth about being
All right,
a
well,
black person in America.
here's where I'm gonna jump in. I was with you until you continued on, and now I definitely disagree with you, because I look around this room and I see very intelligent black men, and I love y'all for that reason, because the discussion that we're having is so necessary. It's so necessary. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think they're having it on other internet radio stations. That's just, and I'm biased because this is ours, but I'll be honest with you, I don't think that we're having this discussion everywhere. But here's why I disagree with you. Oscar Grant, Romarley Graham, Travaris McGill, Ronald Madison, James Brissett, Wendell Allen, Alonzo Ashley, Stephen Washington, Victor Steen, Aaron Campbell, Orlando Barlow, Sean Bell, Timothy Stansberry, Osman Zongo, Patrick Dorisman, Amadou Diallo, Irvin Jefferson, Timothy Russell, Kendrick McCabe, Kamani Gray, Eric Garner, and the name we're talking about right now, Michael Brown. Reason why I have those names right in front of me, because we've had this discussion in similar ways several times since, August of this year.
Right.
And those people aren't all the big, scary guy who happened upon the defenseless officer. Those are all black men whose names that I read to you, and they're all gone right now because of unfortunate situations where they came across an officer who may have been programmed, because televisions give you programs. That's why they call it a program, so they can program you. With the television, they're telling lies on the television so they can program you. And every single night when we turn on the 11 o'clock news, they always lead with the same stuff because they're programming you. And they're making sure that the people who are watching those newscasts are good and scared of the big, scary black man.
Propaganda.
Which is the reason why you got these police officers with these itchy trigger fingers, and you got people that are support them. You got those people rioting in the streets, but you also got people that are filling the coffers of Darren Wilson. You know why? Because they just as scared as he is. They're just as scared as he is. And nobody can read, or at least that's been able, and I've asked the question, nobody could tell me any other community that could just rattle off the names of 20 people, and that list is only 10 years old. That's just going back 10 years, and that's the names that I have, And so how are we to assume that isn't something that's indoctrinated in the minds and thoughts of these people who are carrying the guns supposed to be protecting and serving?
So I don't doubt what you just said, any of what you just said. One thing that I love to do is watch the news, and the one thing that I love to do is watch the news that of news anchors that I disagree with vehemently. And one station begins with an F and ends with an S, a great news station if you want to be entertained. But what they claim, and it's not just them, CNN, everybody, what they claim, if you read enough, you see that over 99.9% of interactions between cops and people in general, whether they be black or white, is okay. It's just fine. And so just like perhaps I'm being devil's advocate because I agree with everything you just said, let's put it in context. Is there really a problem? Is there really a problem because you rattled off 20 names? These names deserve all the credit and honor and respect that they are due because they died prematurely. But my point is this, is there really an us versus we problem? There really isn't. If the majority, the vast majority, isn't going through that, that was the reason why I asked you what I asked you. That wouldn't happen to you. That happened to Brown, and that sucks. And I think that's an injustice. And I think Darren Wilson should go to jail, and I think he should be punished. But there's not a vast, big majority. There's 99.9%. I saw stats. I saw numerous stats that said the interaction between cops, when they be bad or good.
But where that number and that statistic becomes irrelevant is just per capita. Just per capita. What other community can say that they lose their standard bearers, their male participants in their race like we do? Hispanics can't. They're high, but not in these numbers. Asians can't. Whites can't. It's just us. So I'm not one of those people, and I fundamentally understand where you're going, and you make a very valid point. And you started off by saying that we need to take responsibility for our own and handle our own business. And yes, we need to do that.
Control what you can control.
Control what you can control because, I just don't think that generationally we do that. I'm in my 40s. You guys appear to be in your 30s, and you guys
20s,
are raising
20s.
raising children. Okay, I was off. Sorry, sisters. But in all seriousness, our parents' generation had it a whole lot different than what we had, and I got a child as well, and it's different for her as well. And I have Steppin with Marcus J. We're getting a call. Caller is calling in right now, so we're going to take this call. Caller, we know that you're on the live line with us. Thank you for calling in on Half Steppin with Marcus J. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from, and what you want to get in on?
Hello, this is Steven, site host of Live Radio. I'm here in Richmond, Virginia.
What's going on, Steven? For those folks listening to us, you are listening to the voice of Legacy Internet Radio. I like to call him because I know that it embarrasses him. But he hosts our Tuesday night show in Live Radio right here on Legacy Internet Radio. Mr. LP, what you got, my brother?
Yes, first I'll thank you for this discussion. And I just want to say I disagree with the gentleman that I understand that just because it's maybe a majority that may not have a problem overall in terms of police interaction, that doesn't mean that there's still not an existing problem that may not go further. Because if you put it in context, that's the same comment some would say, well, shoot, we have enough kids going to college. We don't need to worry about kids going to school. Oh, shoot, there's enough kids, pregnancy is down. We don't need to worry about teen pregnancy anymore. It's just that, it's a blanket statement. And I understand that there's a different position that he was trying to portray. But still, we have to be careful when we put that out there because still there are those who will say the same thing as, let's say, oh, the Jews were persecuted, so we need to not give all this excuse towards African American or black people in general as to why they need assistance or maybe recognize some of the plight that we have to go through in general. The situation is this, that we need to overall take control and take a handle of our own, because if we do not, as a community, then you're leaving it up to the streets and the law and everything else. To use a sports analogy, my coach always told me, when you're in the game, you're in control. Don't expect the refs to bail you out to call the game in your favor or against, because you never know when it's going to go against you.
Right.
So it's the same thing here in life. Do not allow the police or the law to dictate my conduct when I need to have the community around me to support me and myself to have enough wisdom to take care of business when it needs to be done.
Mr. LP, I'm going to give him an opportunity to respond to your comment. Pete?
I appreciate the comment, man. So I definitely, again, like I said to Marcus, I everything that you said is a true statement, but the problem that I have with that sort of ideology is the same problem I have with Bill O'Reilly or the Tea Party, is that when they make these statements that race isn't a problem, I'm asking them the same way I'm asking us to not focus in on race at all. It's not, when I have my son Parker, when he gets older and I have to have that unfortunate conversation with him, I'm not going to talk to him about the race problem. The reason why there's not a majority problem is because I'm going to focus in on my son and tell him, hey, look, when you walk a certain way. When you talk a certain way. When somebody of authority gives you instruction, you listen to them. So my point is this. Since it's not the majority and there's only 20 names on that list, let's focus in on what we can control, and we can control how we act. We don't need to make blanket statements that there's a big problem, because there's not a big problem. And the way to focus in on that is if we talk about the individual problems, how those interactions are not working, not why there's a black or a white problem, because that list of 20 names, it's too many, but it's small. It's small, so
but it's marginalizing the issue greater impact. Let me give you the example. I understand you may not know me well enough and do that, but I do the best I can to carry a high standard image of not just to impress anybody, but it's my own personal moral goals. That did not stop the police from stopping me so many times in New York. That does not stop me here in Henrico County anytime something happens I've walked into. It did not stop when I'm sitting in the library at 2 o'clock in the morning studying, and then they come to me, you're the only one we can find that's black, so we're going to pull you in. That does not still stop the issue. I'm not saying that the focus is solely on race, because there is a moral issue aspect with it, but at the same time, you have to understand that this is what happens, and we can pray and we can do our things to help get it away as far as we can. But now the argument that you present itself is saying that we're in a post-racial world, and that is not where we're at.
Mr. LP, we're going to let you go, my brother. Keep listening. If you hear something after our break you want to get back in, obviously, you're welcome. Call us back if you want to. All right, my brother?
Well, thank you, sir.
You got
thank
it.
You, everybody.
You got it. Have Steppin Marcus J. I'll give you the last word to respond to him if you like.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can't beat a dead horse. I don't want to seem like we're in a post-racial society, but I'd rather focus in on MLK's dream than Malcolm X's Black Power movement. I don't want to fight everybody. I want to live together. And so when I see almost 100% of police interactions being okay, that's enough for me. I don't spend my time focusing in on the small situations that occur. I'd rather focus in on why, in fact, these situations arise as opposed to what color their skin is. And so I can't disagree with what he was saying. I just think that I don't want to focus in on that.
I think that's a crock of bull. And I think it is race. And to say that, well, the majority of them are okay, so, I'm cool with that. No, it's not. I don't think it's the majority either. I think the majority, can put on that happy face to make it look like, well, it's not all of us. But to say, well, that's a small amount. No, it's not a small amount. It's too many. And I don't buy that. I don't believe it for 1 second. I believe that these black boys are targeted. And I believe that we all know whose buttons to push and what to say to who to what. Just like you say your mama to any black boy, you're going to get a arousal out of him. And you might not can get the same arousal out of a white boy. He's saying God knows what to his mama. Point is, we all know trigger points and to lessen it, to make it seem like it's not what it is when it is what it is. Right. You targeting these black boys, and these black boys they like prey.
I can dig it. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. I tend to agree with your sister. We're gonna take a break. And when we come back, we are going to continue this discussion. We got the crew of the newest edition to Legacy Internet Radio. We got the pregame, and you have heard a prelude to the pregame every Friday night, starting on December 5th at 8 p.m. till 10. You can hear this crew. You're going to get a variety of stuff out of them. We're very excited to have them. They're going to be with us for the duration of the show. Marcus J, Big Rube, Big Brother Joe, and the crew of the pregame. Ain't no have Stab with Marcus J. Be back in a few minutes. And before we go, just want to let y'all know we got a special guest from someone this man just cited here a minute ago. We're going to have a few words from the doctor himself. Stay with us.